today I wanted to talk about how I built self-confidence while dealing with acne, while dealing with not having the reality of my dream skin. So let's talk about it. If you haven't watched one of my videos before, hi, I'm Tabi, it's nice to meet you. I am a skin health specialist and a beauty medicine practitioner, and I help women predominantly deal with inflamed skin, and I have my own signature method, which is the skin triangle method, where we look at your skin topically, internally and emotionally, because these are the 3 pathways to getting healthy skin long term. So now that you're all caught up, let's talk about dealing with your skin, dealing with the confidence in your skin when you don't feel good in yourself. Because when I had acne, when I had acne the first time, because I had it twice, when I had acne the first time as a teenager, I kind of perceived that getting clear skin would unlock how I felt about myself. Like, I felt really rubbish in myself, I felt really insecure, really self-conscious, I barely left the house, and it became like this whole ordeal of how I went from one day to the next, and it plagued my life. And I thought that when I would eventually get clear skin, that all of a sudden how I felt about myself would completely shift, completely change, and I was really shocked when it didn't. I got to clear skin and I was like, oh, like sure, like I've got like clear skin now, but I had to grieve what I thought clear skin would look like as well. As a teenager, I assumed that my skin would look like how it looked before I had acne as well, and it was this whole period of shame and grief for myself, and shame for the fact that I still felt so horrific in myself. And it's all down to subconscious beliefs, it all is. And when I had acne the second time as an adult, and this is the time that I managed to clear it myself without any medication and things like that, that's when I created my signature method. That was the time that I really looked at myself and I thought, this time I'm doing things differently. Like, this time I am doing things holistically. I'm not going on medication again, but I'm also going to talk to myself differently. I'm going to be kinder to myself. I'm going to hold more compassion for myself, because you shouldn't have to wait until you get the result you want to love and accept yourself. And I think that's the issue that a lot of us face and a lot of us deal with. So I think we should really deep dive into that today because if you can leave today's video feeling a little bit more confident in yourself and your ability to sit with yourself and love yourself and accept yourself, then I've done my job right, basically. I want to talk about 5 separate things with you today regarding skin confidence and achieving skin confidence before you get your results with your skin. So the first one is nervous system regulation. So if you don't know what this is, it's basically being able to sit with how you're feeling, being aware of how you're feeling, and then regulate your emotions regarding this. So for example, a really good example is if you're having a panic attack, it's calming yourself down from that and bringing yourself back into reality. Some people do this with grounding, some people do this with breathing methods. There is obviously lots of different tools for that. That is a type of nervous system regulation. So when it comes to your skin, you have to basically identify your triggers for your skin. So as soon as you start feeling horrible or you notice those thoughts come up, that's when you just really sit with them and be like, why has that happened? What's kind of triggered that? Sometimes it's friends and family saying things, sometimes it's people looking at our skin, sometimes it's just our inner critic, our own voice that causes that trigger. Or it could be just like new acne, new inflammation, new redness, just a flare up in general. So being aware of your triggers is definitely like one of the first things that you need to do when we're talking about nervous system regulation, because you need to be aware of the issue so we can resolve it, basically. The second thing is having a little chest of things that you kind of go to that work for you and your skin and how you deal with things as well. So we'll talk through a few of the different nervous system regulation tools and try them and see which ones kind of stick, because what works for me and what I like might not work for you and what you like. Like, we're all such unique people that we all need a unique approach basically. So the first one that I absolutely love is EFT. So EFT is tapping. Basically you go through like your pressure points and then you just keep going, but usually you say, even though, insert the trigger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So I'll give you an example. So even though I picked my skin and I know I shouldn't have, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling really anxious about how I look today, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling really rubbish and I feel like everyone is staring at me all the time, I feel really isolated and alone, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you just keep going and going and going until you feel better, and then you can shake it out. A lot of the time, like you yawn, like I'm feeling the urge to yawn. EFT is absolutely fantastic. I urge you to give it a try. There's loads of different scripts you can find online as well if you do like to copy like someone, or you can go on ChatGPT, insert what's worrying you and ask ChatGPT to make you an EFT script. That is a fantastic way to go about it because it's very personalised to you then as well. Otherwise, box breathing is really good, where you basically you breathe in for 4, you hold it for 4, you breathe out for 4, and then you hold it for 4. You're just doing like a little breathing thing basically. That is really beneficial because what we're doing is basically we're telling your body that you're actually safe, that your perceived danger on the things that are making you concerned and worried, you don't have to worry too much about them. Like it's kind of just being like, yeah, there's not actually like a lion chasing you, it's like one of those. So it's actually really, really beneficial to do these things. Those are two of my favourite nervous system regulation tools. Otherwise, grounding, like I kind of mentioned before, that is fantastic. So you could do this by going in nature, going for a walk, going to the beach, going to the woods, just anything like that where it's like you're really present and in the moment, and kind of just takes you out of your head a little bit. That is absolutely phenomenal, makes a world of difference. Otherwise, just moving your body in general, if you're someone that likes cycling, going for walks, yoga, Pilates, going to the gym, anything like that, again, it kind of takes you out of your head, it helps lower cortisol levels, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So go do one of those things, write yourself a little list. You can even ask ChatGPT or Google some more nervous system regulation tools. If one of those you didn't resonate with, that's completely fine. Like I said, what works for me might not work for you, so it's finding your ideal one basically and kind of just going with that and going with the flow. And every single time you see a trigger come up, write it down what the trigger is, keep a little journal of it, and then nervous system regulate yourself. Amazing. It's so good, so important that we kind of target the emotional aspects of how we're feeling. So the second thing I wanted to talk to you about regarding feeling confident in your skin before you get your results is your inner child. So this kind of goes into how are you speaking to yourself. Basically, you have to think about it like that little younger version of you is still inside you somewhere. Like they just are. Like they're still a part of you, and you have to think and visualize that little version of you. For example, I'll pop a photo of little Tabi on the screen right now. So this is my inner child. She's in me somewhere. And when you're feeling not great in yourself, you can have a really harsh inner critic, and you can start having really negative conversations with yourself, just a negative outlook on things, and you'll notice that this kind of simmers into more of your life than you probably first would realise. And you kind of have to reparent yourself and re-talk to your inner child and kind of just give them some love, some compassion, because you're still that version of you. Like you're an evolved version of that, but that version is still you. And so why would you talk to that younger version of you like you are now? So if you're constantly like, you're ugly, you're not beautiful, you're undesirable, you would never say that to that child's version of you. Like, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. So why are you saying that to yourself now? It does not make any sense. So start talking to yourself better, start having a more positive, friendly, loving, compassionate voice, because every time you're talking to yourself and having that internal dialogue, that is going to your inner child. Like, she probably just needs a hug, like realistically. So have some compassion for yourself, treat yourself like someone you love. If you want to say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. have more compassion for yourself. There are some ways you can like improve doing this. Affirmations are fantastic. So you look at yourself in the mirror and you might say, I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I'm loved, my skin does not define me, and you just go through a list of affirmations and you just make eye contact with yourself, and it's like you're speaking them into your soul. And at first it probably feels really icky and really weird, but the more that you do this, the easier it becomes, and then eventually you actually start to believe what you're telling yourself because it becomes so internalized. So that is a fantastic way to kind of regulate yourself, because all of these things do go into that nervous system regulation. That kind of leads us into number 3. So number 3 is daily rituals, having little things in your life where it brings you joy, it brings you positive experiences, and it's also just you being friendly and compassionate and talking to yourself. For example, having affirmations every single day and doing that in the morning when you're doing your skincare routine, that's a fantastic way to kind of include that habit into your daily life. Otherwise, doing those nervous system regulation tools, so on an evening before you go to bed, you might just do a round of EFT, or you might meditate. Like meditation is another fantastic one. So having these little things that kind of are pockets in your day can make such a difference. Even walking down the street, for example, I started doing this like last year. I was feeling a little bit insecure and self-conscious in myself and how I looked. And so every single time that I walked down like busy streets and things like that, I would just repeat to myself, it's safe to be seen, it's safe to be seen, it's safe to be seen, because it is safe to be seen, like it doesn't cause any danger, right? And then because I said that more, it kind of just like, it became easier and easier and easier. And there's also like a little trick as well of, if you imagine like a white glow around you, like visualize that in your head, like as you're doing things that would scare you, visualize that glow around you, and it kind of feels like it's like a little protective bubble, and it does make you feel better. It's all these little things, like these little tricks of the mind and things that make such a big difference in how you feel on the day to day. And I want you to feel better in yourself, because you don't deserve all of the negative things that you've probably been saying about yourself, because trust me, I've been there and I do not deserve that. You do not deserve that. So let's move forward with more compassion. Number 4, dealing with social situations, dealing with photos, things that can cause us triggers. So when we're dealing with social situations, it can be really uncomfortable. I remember when I had acne and I'd go to like family meals or go out with my friends, and people would stare at my skin, they would comment on my skin, and it made me feel worse because people were drawing attention to something that I just didn't want there to be more attention on, and it was so incredibly frustrating. I just wanted to hide literally at home forever. That is how I felt. So I can imagine you probably feel quite the same, or at least similar. And let's talk about dealing with it. So first of all, when someone comments on your skin, you can easily just change the conversation. Like if someone comes up to you and you're like, oh wow, your skin's gotten worse, or just draws attention to it, or I remember when I had acne, try and change the conversation. If it's at a party with food, just be like, oh my god, have you tried this like hummus? Have you tried this dip? Have you tried these crisps? Or what did you think of your pasta? Or just something like that. Bring attention to something that is going on around you. Did you enjoy your drink? Something like that, where it's just completely just changing the conversation just within a matter of seconds, and it makes such a difference. And it can be really daunting when you first try to do this, but it's a skill. It's always a skill with social things, but once you start doing it, you realise that you have more control in those situations than you realise, and it does make you feel better about it. Regarding photos, if you're seeing photos of your skin and you're just really uncomfortable with that, do some tapping around it. Like if you're seeing photos that come up, even if it's like family events and things like that, or you're just really insecure of any photos that are popping up of your skin, trust me, I understand. And just put it out of mind. Like you don't have to do anything with that, but also just talk kindly to yourself. Maybe look at the photo and point out things that you already love about yourself, because that's a really good gateway to accepting and loving yourself for who you are. So you know, you might be like, wow, my eyes look really pretty, my eyebrows look really nice, my hair looks really good in this photo, and then it's drawing your attention away from your acne, because it doesn't need to be the focus of everything, and it probably isn't for most people when they look at you. Like it's a very small part of your appearance when it comes down to it, but because we feel so insecure about it, we are constantly just hyper aware of it. when in reality nobody's probably noticing as much as we probably think that they are. And number 5 is actually having a plan, a literal skin reset plan where you feel confident that things are improving. Because if you know and you trust that what you're doing to help yourself and improve your skin is actually going to get you your results inevitably, then it makes everything a lot easier to deal with, because you know that your situation isn't permanent. And that all starts with having a solid plan, which is where I can definitely help you. So go check out my skin reset plans on my website, tabithaisabel.com, where basically I give you a full digital plan. You don't have to talk to me at all. It's all through a form. You basically fill the form in about yourself, attach some photos so I can see your skin, and basically I send you back a PDF plan with exactly what you should be doing in terms of the skin triangle method, so topically, internally and emotionally, to impact your skin health long term. There is nothing worse than feeling really stuck with your skin. I've been there multiple times, which is what led me to become a skin health specialist to this day. So let me be that person for you. But I do think that this needs to be more of a conversation that we have with people, because I think it's so often that we see, even on social media, especially for women, that people are constantly just like, this is how you fix your skin, this is how you like get rid of your acne. But we're not talking about the fact that we should love and accept ourselves whilst we have acne as well, whilst we have rosacea, whilst we have dermatitis or whatever is going on with your skin. We do not need to wait for a result to start to love and accept yourself. And that's not to say that you don't want to improve your skin health, because at the end of the day it is your health. Like, of course you want to improve your health, but it's also just taking a step back and realizing that you don't have to earn love, you don't have to earn compassion. It's not something that's at the end of a rainbow in like a fancy pot of gold. Like, you can choose to be kind to yourself today, and I think that you should. You deserve to feel incredible today. You deserve to feel loved. You deserve to feel worthy. You deserve to look at yourself in the mirror, to feel confident. You deserve to feel like you can walk out of the house bare-skinned without makeup. Like, you deserve all of these things. That's what I want for you. Start doing these steps and you will feel better about yourself. I'm so sure. It's one of those things, it's a process, it takes time, but the more consistent you are of doing these things, the better you will feel. Let's get started. Go check out my website if you want my help with your skin, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel because I upload weekly on a Friday. You can subscribe by clicking my face right here. And yeah, I'm Tabby. I'm sending you so much love, and I shall see you very soon.